Hey, everybody. We're going to talk today about what astrology August has to offer us. Okay. We did just get through July, which was very, very big as far as the astrology is concerned, right? We had that very impactful basket formation, which brought such a beautiful change and blessings to really everything. And it's really kind of started to outline the way that humanity is going. So I really hope you guys all enjoyed that time and took it for what it was, which is a total blessing. And it's really paving the way for what we're all moving into collectively. We also had that grand trine and that very big energy full moon at the end of the month that was conjunct Pluto in opposition to Jupiter. Big, big changes. Okay. So let's move into August and really talk about that. We've got the eclipses coming up, and we've got some real beautiful planetary alignments happening, especially as far as viewing on the 12th of the month. We've got that beautiful alignment in the sky. I'll definitely touch on that later in the video. And then, of course, as normal, I will go over where the moons, the new and full, which both at this time will be eclipses, where they're going to fall in each of your rising signs. Stick around. And while all of that energy may not have completely felt seamless or easy to move through, it wasn't intended to. Okay. We have the influence of Pluto, number one, which is always very big and it feels world ending, right? So, and that's kind of the point. So we do shatter an illusion, whatever world kind of, so to speak, that we've been living in, whatever kind of thought patterns we've been experiencing, those crumble so that we can move forward and change going forward. So we had the planet Pluto really involved with each one of these massive transits lately, and that isn't going to stop. And we do have some planets retrograde. So if you're feeling like you've been kind of in reflection, like, wow, what am I doing with my life? Is whatever I'm doing isn't working, something has to change. Anything like that, that is very sensible. So this is a time with especially the outer planets, kind of the planets that really affect the collective more than a personal level. It certainly triggers a lot of things on a personal level, absolutely, all the time. But you feel a little bit bigger when it's a collective energy like this. So, really, it's a time for reflection, but also just keep in mind that we are building a new society together. And the collective energy we should be feeling is love and joy and gratitude. Okay, so if you keep that in your mind, then you're really going to be able to feel the beautiful energies that Jupiter has to offer, that Venus has to offer, that Mercury that is now direct has to offer. All the things that are really going on for us more on an intimate level are very beautiful. So, really focus on that as much as you can because the big, big energy isn't slowing down. And if you've been watching my videos, I have been speaking for months about really being true to who you are, being authentic, right? And I think that that is proving to be more and more where we need to direct our attention, especially since we are in Leo season. Okay, Leo really asks us to be authentic in our creative self expression, what brings us joy, what lights us up. Okay, so that's really the energy that you are surrounded in right now. So you need to embody that as best as you can. Transformation is rarely comfortable, right? But we're all going through this together. Reach out to your friends, definitely get a support system at this time. Um, it's not an easy situation to navigate alone, and nobody's expecting you to, because really what's going on, if you're welcoming this situation, is that we're really taking everything from the depths within and we're kind of taking it out, we're taking a look at it, we're polishing it up and changing what we want, and then we're putting it back in place. And we're doing that collectively, but we're all doing it behind the scenes as well. So there's really a lot of moving parts going on here, and there's just a lot to really look forward to, but it is a little bit messy. So please definitely reach out. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to your friends, build a community. Whatever that means for you, definitely lean on those that you can be yourself around as much as you can right now. So let's move into talking about August. July kind of woke us up, right? And it's like, okay, you've got our attention. But August is really when the change is going to start becoming more clear. So let's move into that and kind of discuss what that looks like for everybody. Okay, so August 12th brings the new moon, and it also is the total solar eclipse in Leo. Okay, so new moons are always going to start new beginnings, but eclipses are really the ones that change the trajectory of where we're headed, what our life path is. So, this is really the beginning of a new direction for all of us. And Leo is really asking you to remember who you've been, remember who you are, be true to yourself, and, be ready to have your timeline completely redirected. Watch for opportunities, different pathways to open up for you. There's certainly a lot of synchronicities that will come up for you. So pay attention to all those little things. They're really helping you find the truth in who you are and how you want to change your path. It doesn't mean that you are unhappy and you want to change every single thing about you. That may not be true. It may be for some people. But what is inside is really ready to kind of ask to come out and play, right? Like, hey, I just really need to add a little bit more fun to my daily routine, something like that. Or if it's a major thing, like I want to move, I want a new job, all of those things. It depends on a personal level, whatever it is for you. Now is the time to really start watching out for those synchronicities, those opportunities to present themselves, because this is the time to do it. And certainly under Leo's influence, don't be afraid of being seen. Visibility is going to happen. And the more you embrace that in your authenticity, the more aligned you will be. And speaking of alignment, we have the most beautiful planetary alignment on the 12th as well. Now, let me tell you, a lot of these are viewable without a telescope. If you have a telescope, you may get all 6 planets. Okay, we are talking about Saturn, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune. Okay, and it's the dark of the moon and it's eclipsed. So it's going to be very dark, and you can definitely see these planets. So go out, I would say, a little bit after dark, and you can definitely view these. Connect with them. They're helping us become aligned right now. It really is a great time to manifest what you want and truly decide what direction you want to go. Let your heart lead the way. That's what Leo encourages us to do. That's what the alignment is encouraging us to do. That's what the eclipse is going to allow us to do, as long as we really pay attention to what we feel inside on a real authentic level. And really, just it's a great time to count your blessings, you guys. Eclipse season is very powerful. And what ends up happening for you is said to kind of be influential until the next pair of eclipses, really. And you may not see the effects of the eclipse right away, but oftentimes it's a few months down that you start really seeing all these pieces line up, and you're going, whoa, where was I for this massive change that's been underway this whole time? You're here, you're present. And if you stay in love and stay in peace and enjoy, and definitely in gratitude, then you're going to be on track for success for sure. And on the 28th of the month, we'll just skip forward to the lunar eclipse. That's going to be in Pisces. Now, we've had several eclipses in Pisces over the last 18 months or so. This will be the last one for a very long time, but it is really allowing us to practice the art of letting go. Remember that Pisces is ruled by Neptune and Jupiter, but in this, it's definitely mostly ruled by Neptune. It is all about dissolving the old identities. It's about letting go of what you cannot control and just kind of letting yourself be directed in the way that your heart is trying to get you to go. Okay. So, this is really kind of a way to spark a balance in the universe and within ourselves, right? So, we're really asked to kind of just spark the new beginnings and pay attention to the direction that we want to go and not be afraid of being authentic and seen for who we are, and then let go of all those old identities that really no longer serve the purpose. Now, I also want to talk to you about the interesting fact about these eclipses and how they work with the North and South node this month. So the Leo solar eclipse with the new moon is sitting with the south node. Okay. And then the Pisces lunar eclipse is sitting with the north node. And that could seem a little backwards at first. But what's happening, and the reason, if you're not super familiar with the nodes, the south node is like the past, right? It's anything that you have experienced, that you have mastered, things like that. And then the north node is really like the direction that you're trying to go to in life. What's your goal, right? So when we have the new beginnings with the new moon solar eclipse sitting with the south node of the past, and then we have the lunar eclipse that is, with that full moon where we're kind of asked to release things, but it's sitting with the north node, which is like our goal in life, it can be a little confusing. And at first glance, it is. But here's the beauty that I see when I look at that. It's giving us this entire month of an opportunity to truly feel what we need to let go of and what we need to bring in. Okay, so before the universe can guide us towards what's meant for us, it's asking us to really release what no longer aligns. And it's giving us the entire month to do that. And that's really what this whole thing is all about, especially with that last full moon that we had on the 29th of July, really asking for that transformation in a big way with that Pluto and Jupiter energy backing it all up. We're guided into August with these eclipses with the knowledge that we have ample time to figure out what we no longer want and how to be authentic. Don't feel pressured by time, because this is lining up for us to really walk us through this path, and we don't have to walk it alone. So, some other things we have going on this month: Venus is going to enter Libra August 6th. So, that's going to really benefit us in a lot of ways. Venus rules Libra. So, it's all about harmony and balance. So, it's really nice to kind of have that sprinkled in to everything that we have going on with so much change happening. We have that love and harmony and that balance really kind of giving us an underlining energy for the whole month. And then Mercury will enter Leo on August 9th. That is going to have us thinking and communicating about being authentic, being who we are, being ready to be seen. So it really kind of sets us up to get our mental world on track with where we're really trying to go. So we have a lot of beneficial planetary energy. And so it's really up to us to kind of use it for our best, right? Use it for the highest expression. Um, Venus is going to trine Saturn at the end of the month as well on the 31st. So that's going to be a very positive aspect that expands the life you're building. And that's at the end of the month. So it's really important to start thinking about what you are building and taking the steps that you need to take to start building that dream life, especially because Saturn and Neptune have been pairing up for so long. It's really been giving us the way, just the keys really, to start building our dream life. And now Jupiter is going to come in and swoop that energy up and expand it for us and really just take that magnifying glass to it. And we can really take a look and see if we're on track, if where we're going is what we are actually intentionally trying to build. And it's going to help on a very positive note. So with that, let's go ahead and dig into where those eclipses will land in each zodiac's chart. All right, so for our Aries and our Aries rising, the solar eclipse in Leo on the 12th is going to land in your fifth house. So that has to do with creativity, fun, romance, children, joy, and definitely authentic self expression. This eclipse is really inviting you to kind of reconnect with your heart. Okay. It's Leo season. The eclipse is in Leo. That's the new moon energy. It's really just saying, what is it that you truly, on a deep, heartfelt level, what it is that you really want to express in yourself on a daily basis. So that's definitely adding some fun into your life. And I think you'd be all right with that, won't you, Aries? And the lunar eclipse in Pisces will be in your 12th house. So that's going to be focused on healing your subconscious, spirituality, rest, really kind of endings, right? The subconscious mind. So any old limiting fears, anything like that can kind of come up for you. And that's really your cue to let them go. Okay, it's definitely time for that. So it's really guiding you in that way. Just create from your heart and trust your intuition. Whatever you're releasing, just make sure that it makes space to bring you more joy. All right. All right, so for our Taurus, the solar eclipse will be in your fourth house. That's concerned with your home, your family, your roots, emotional security. Okay, so that's going to be a new chapter beginning to really with your emotional life and how you find a home within yourself, how you have that sanctuary and that security. So definitely kind of pay attention to what's going on in your physical home, but also in the emotional state where we feel at peace and at home. Okay. And the lunar eclipse will be in your 11th house. Now, that's concerned with your friends, the community, future goals, anything like that. So, we're going to really kind of bring focus outwardly in that way, right? So, it's a full moon at that point. So, there's a lot more energy. Where do you want to go in the community? How do you want to be a part of humanity and where humanity is heading? So, that's definitely the focus for you, whatever comes up at that time. If it feels negative at all, then that is your cue to let that go and move forward in joy and in love. Some friendships, or long term dreams may kind of either evolve or dissolve. It could, any of those things could be what the outcome is this month. Especially keep in mind what I said at the beginning about the nodes and how they are kind of opposite what we would expect. So there's the full month has the potential for new and old, right? So letting go of certain things and then bringing in the new. So it's definitely a good time to kind of start building that life that really feels like a home for you, even if it looks different than what you had imagined before. Whatever kind of direction you're going to be urged to move into is going to be for your highest good as long as you're staying true to yourself and listening to your heart. And don't let fear in, okay? That's the best thing you can do. You may have some new friendships, new community to build upon. You could be releasing old friendships. So, all of these things are possible. Just, stay in peace and you'll be all right. All right, Gemini. So you are going to experience the solar eclipse in the third house. That's Gemini's normal house of the zodiac. So you're pretty familiar there. Communication, learning, teaching, siblings, the local community, short travel, things like that. So your voice will become one of your greatest gifts. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to talk to communicate. This could be written communication. This could be um, whatever kind of communication there is. You could be building a feature and it launches. There's all these different things that can happen as far as communication goes. That's really the push. And you're really going to kind of be able to choose the new way you want to communicate going forward. So definitely pay attention to what comes up for you on that front. The lunar eclipse will be in your 10th house. So, what's going on in your career, your public image, your reputation, how you present yourself to the world, how the world views you? There could be a new chapter in your career coming up. Something could reach completion. It could be that your job reaches completion, and maybe it's time to move into a different chapter of life. And that's completely fine. All of the redirection is going to be for your highest good. Um, some advice I would say: speak with confidence, authenticity. And remember that your thoughts help shape your future. So definitely keep that in mind as we navigate this month. All right, so for our Cancers and Cancer rising, the solar eclipse will be in your second house. Financial benefit is possible. There's also a focus on self worth for sure, your values, your resources. So, all of that is going to kind of come up and be shifted and redirected. So, what is it that has been coming up for you? I have a feeling that whatever it's been kind of brewing up for a while, and you already have the answers, and you can resonate with what I say because it's kind of just answering that question like, oh, that's why I've been so focused on that one thing, right? Well, that's you trying to redirect your path for something better. So stay in that positive mindset for sure. Financial gain, self worth, and resources, that's no little thing in life. So definitely focus in the best possible outcome for yourself. And remember, before I move on to the lunar eclipse, that the value that you have and your worth starts within. Okay. So you may not look around you and see what you think you deserve, but that means that that is work that you have to do on the inside because deeply you definitely know that you deserve something, or maybe there's a deep belief that you need to let go of that says that you aren't worth that thing, right? So definitely take a look at that, examine it with that magnifying glass that Jupiter definitely has to present for us. You know, we've been kind of started off the month with that full moon that we just had, and then we're ending the month with the Jupiter twist too. So it's all kind of under the microscope, and we're really here to examine what our true beliefs are. So keep advised that this is a beautiful time to set good intentions and manifest what you really want. And then the lunar eclipse will happen in your ninth house. If you haven't already been thinking about long travel, it may come up for you. You may want to go on a trip, pack your bags. It's definitely possible. Another huge thing for the ninth house is the focus on higher learning, higher education, spirituality, your belief system, right? So it's your higher mind. So, what kind of old beliefs are dissolving? Does it tie in with self worth, right? So, is this something where you're being asked to like think about how worthy you are to have this grand belief system and how you can embody that and live it on a daily basis? For our Leos and Leo rising, the solar eclipse will be in your first house. Let's focus on your identity, your appearance, new beginnings, confidence, bravery, showing who you are to the world and unapologetically. Okay, this is totally your personal reset. This is definitely a chance for you to show who you are, show up as the new version, the current version of who you are, regardless of what other people may have known of you. It doesn't matter what versions you have outgrown, just be who you are every day and you're on track. Okay. Just like you do, Leo, you need to be bold and brave and just show up. And that's going to be the best thing you can do. Definitely focus on the new beginnings because it's a really good time for that identity shift because we have that new moon, solar eclipse, redirection, new beginnings. That's the theme of the month for you for sure. And when we get into the lunar eclipse, it's going to be in your eighth house. More transformation. That is the house of transformation. Shared resources as well, intimacy, healing, but really the death and rebirth of something significant. Okay, and it could be old identities. Um, it could be something that is very impactful for you in life because it is an eclipse. So you're going to be redirected, right? So all of these deep emotional patterns are getting really ready to be released and let go of. Just allow yourself to do that. Okay. Allow that to kind of come up. Allow yourself to evolve. You don't need permission to become who you are every single day. And you know that very well deep down inside. So you definitely got this under control. This is going to be a fantastic month. I hope you're ready and willing to keep an open mind and an open heart to whatever comes your way. Stay authentic and true to yourself, and it will definitely be for the best. Okay, Virgo and Virgo rising, the solar eclipse will be in your 12th house. That's all about spirituality, healing, rest, closure, inner growth, your subconscious. Okay, something definitely wants to be dissolved, something wants to emerge, but you need to focus on what is ready to be released, right? So, this is a really good chance for you to kind of have that low vibe day and just really listen within. Don't expect too much from yourself. I know as a Virgo, you're always on the go, you're always wanting to be productive and get things done, but it's okay to take some breaks sometimes. It's a perfect time to do so. Okay, let yourself have that balance. Libra or Venus just moved into Libra, right? So we kind of have that helping little assistant there. So allow that energy in and just really rest and reflect, because you're going to get answers on what needs to change, what needs to be built upon. It's a time for new beginnings. It's time for manifesting. And when you have a placement like this, with it being an eclipse and a new moon, and it's in the 12th house, what is really being urged is something very subliminal, something deep within, a deep belief, whatever it is, you know what it is, that's for sure. It's time to address it and really let it go. Choose the new way that you want to be, or the new belief that you want to implement, and go that route. And the lunar eclipse will be in your 7th house. That's concerned with your relationships, your partnerships, your commitment, your one on one interactions. Okay, so relationships can kind of tend to become mirrors for your inner healing. So if you are noticing during that full moon lunar eclipse that you're in harmony, then that's beautiful. That's a reflection of what's within you, right? But if you experience sort of an eruptive behavior, whether it's coming from you or the other person, that's definitely some sort of sign that you may be off track. Those are things that you want to release, right? So definitely don't make any like crazy decisions necessarily, but use all of those things for awareness. Then you can use that to redirect your path, which is what the eclipses are here to provide that energy for, right? So let go with compassion. Not every ending is a loss, remember that. And the redirections are certainly very important for our overall well being down the road. So definitely just, choose faith over fear for sure. Um, you could gain greater intuition with that 12th house new moon, and some emotional peace, right? So if your relationships may shift, that's okay. As long as the relationship with yourself is growing and strengthening, and you guys are all focused in the best way. All right, Libra, the solar eclipse will land in your 11th house. So that's concerned with your friendships, your community, networking, whatever your kind of dreams you're building, your goals. Um, New people could arrive to kind of help support you with those goals. Or you could just really strengthen that community that you've been building. It's a new moon, right? So remember, of course, it is a solar eclipse, and that is going to push us into a better direction. But it is a new moon, and that energy is there to really begin something better. So it's our chance to look at what we have going on and say, this is how I want things to change. This is the direction I'm going to go, and start really taking steps towards that. The lunar eclipse will be in your 6th house. Okay, so that's focused on your health, your daily routines, your work, your service to yourself and to others, your habits. So what kind of habits are you starting to form, or what habits have you formed that aren't lining up with who you are? What needs to be let go of? Okay, if you have some sort of addiction, is it time to let go of that and redirect it? Use something more healthy. Do some, upgrade yourself on a daily basis. Upgrade your health. All right. So this is something, If you haven't been feeling well, it is possible that under a full moon, you could get that whole feeling come to fruition. So it could be like when the fever breaks, right? And it could be bad, but then it's gonna get better. So it comes to a head, whatever it is, or it's time where you say, I've had enough and I'm going to start walking it every day again because I'm not feeling as mobile as I was, and just build those healthy habits for yourself. Um, there could be new collaborations this month, definitely improvements in your health if you allow yourself to choose that direction. But let go of burnout and overcommitment for sure. That's definitely one of the themes for you this month. But other than that, you guys should be good to go as long as you're focused on love and authenticity. It's a big month again, right after July. So just move forward in peace and you'll be good to go. Okay, for our Scorpio and Scorpio rising, the solar eclipse is going to land in your 10th house. So that's the public image, right? That's how you show up as an authoritarian, how you master the world, where you are a leader, where you're gaining recognition. You may be called into greater visibility, right? So there's a focus there. How do you want to show up is really the question. How do you want to show up? And this being in Leo suggests that you need to be authentic. You need to be bold and brave and have courage to express yourself in the way you are. So start doing that. When you get on the public stage, being exactly who you are without fear, just trust that it's going to be okay. And you'll see that if you can push past that fear, that it's going to work out for you just beautifully. And you're going to wonder why you hadn't been doing it all along. And if you want more Leo energy, the lunar eclipse will land in your 5th house, which is Leo's natural house. So that's also saying be authentic. Okay. Do something creative, bring yourself joy. What kind of things make you happy? You know what I mean? That's definitely the focus. Okay, your children, romance, relationships, things like that. Let go of fear and just allow yourself to be seen and allow yourself to have fun and be authentic. This definitely feels like your month to really just let go of old identities, let them shatter, break into 1,000 pieces, and move forward in who you are, 100% you, without being afraid of judgment, because judgment is something of the past and we don't need it anymore. Where we're headed in this loving, beautiful humanity that we're creating, yes, it's a little rocky right now, but we are working on it. We're getting there. So choose to be you in all forms, however you can. There's definitely a possibility for promotion, career growth, creative breakthroughs. Okay, so maybe a romantic chapter that either begins or deepens. There's infinite possibilities for you. So definitely just stay positive and allow whatever comes to come with love. All right, Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. The solar eclipse will be in your 9th house. That's going to focus on long trips, higher education, spiritual growth. This is definitely a placement that you know well. This is your natal location in the zodiac. Um, Definitely expand your world, allow it to happen. Let go of any limiting beliefs for sure. This is a new beginning, a redirection, and you can expand it in the way that feels right for you. Definitely up to you to choose that at this time. And the lunar eclipse is going to land in your 4th house, and that's concerned with your home, your family, your roots, your resources, your emotional foundation, how you nurture yourself and others, your family members. Old family dynamics and emotional patterns are likely ready to heal. That may come up for you. The full moon brings the emotional awareness to the forefront, right? And it is an eclipse. So we are going to use that energy to redirect to the path that we want to be on. So definitely keep yourself in mind and make sure that you are treating yourself with fairness and you are including yourself in these big plans, okay? The expansive mind and the differences in how you feel at home within yourself and within your family. Show up for who you are, and you should be on a better path for sure. You could find some travel is coming, or even relocation. You may move or start looking for a new home, or something could even happen in the home that makes you have to transform it. Anything like that. There are definitely opportunities for expanding your education, right? So, healing within the family relationships. These are all dynamics that can kind of come up for you this month. So, definitely focus on where you want to be in that way, um, and just be prepared and open minded for whatever comes next. Definitely know what you're asking for. Your thoughts create your reality. Everything that you believe creates your reality. So make sure that what you're saying to yourself, what you're saying out loud, what you're embodying is where you want to go. Because at this time of eclipses, the universe is really going to push everybody's energy into their path, where they're headed. So definitely keep that in mind. Capricorn and Capricorn rising, the solar eclipse will be in your eighth house. That's hugely transformative energy. That's the house of transformation, right? It's death and rebirth of some situation, whatever that is, whether it's old identities, um, resources. It can be, it's largely connected to like debts or other people's resources, inheritances, things like that. um, Intimacy, absolutely, for sure. So just know that there's going to be like some powerful inner transformation that is ready to begin. And since it is a new moon and an eclipse, it's time for you to choose what it is that you're going to focus on. So really start to manifest what you want and think about that. Set some good intentions because it's time for that transformation to come up. And then the lunar eclipse will end up in your third house. Okay. So that's concerned with communication, learning, your mindset, how you think, your perspective, all about really saying, hey, are you keeping a positive mind? Are you making sure that you're manifesting the life that you actually desire? Or are you trapped in your mind? Are you still believing old narratives? Definitely focus on that. And something could come up for you during that full moon lunar eclipse. Okay. So be honest, have honest conversations with yourself, create that lasting freedom. You can absolutely really see some financial breakthroughs. Some emotional healing, spiritual awareness, some depth that kind of comes up, intuition for sure. And just speak your truth with confidence because that's kind of what this month is all about. And you're really going to have that awareness be brought to you, especially with that eighth house kind of starting off the set of eclipses for you. So be ready for an inner transformation for sure, and keep your thoughts positive. That's the lesson for you for the month. So, our Aquarius and Aquarius rising, the solar eclipse will be in your seventh house. That's the house of relationships, partnerships, one on one commitments, and one on one conversations, engagements, any kind of contracts. Okay. What kind of relationship issue is nearing a new chapter? What kind of new chapter do you want to bring to your relationships, or new way of looking at your relationships? What kind of balance and harmony are you receiving? What kind of balance and harmony are you giving? Is there balance, right? So that's definitely something. If you're not feeling that there's a even give and take, that's something that you can definitely set some intentions on. Pay attention to what's coming up for you, and that's going to be a good redirection for you. The lunar eclipse will be in your second house. That's fantastic. That's the house of money. Okay. Self worth, personal resources. Definitely, definitely on a full moon with that growing energy, it is likely that you will get some extra money at that time. Now, you should always be in the mindset of abundance. But in order to do that, you have to also be in the mindset of self worth. You have to know that you're worth these things deep within. These eclipses are here to really kind of light things up for us and redirect us, right? So, if that's something you've been struggling with, which most people have that struggle, it's definitely time to take a look at that and say, you know what, I actually do deserve this, and I'm going to have it. I'm going to have it because there's an abundance and it's not taken away from anybody else, and it's mine and I have the rights to it. So definitely release scarcity and recognize your value. That's definitely your lesson for this month for sure. As far as your relationships, definitely choose ones that honor your worth. That's a really, really big thing to do. If you're kind of stuck in relationships that challenge you and don't recognize your worth, then really let go of that control. Let go of the way that that can influence you. If it's a relationship that you cannot get out of, you cannot break that relationship for one reason or another, try your best to counterbalance that, not let it affect you, and do the inner work that you have to do, whether that's affirmations or whatever that keeps your mindset in a positive way, because right now is a huge transformational change and you want to be on the positive path. um, a significant partnership could either begin or evolve. There could definitely be increased financial confidence, um, healthier relationship dynamics. It could be definitely very beneficial for you. So keep in mind your worth. That's a huge, huge factor for you this month. Pisces and Pisces rising, the solar eclipse will be in your sixth house. That is your daily routine. That is an opposite placement of where Pisces natally lives. So you should kind of have that, really, that balance there, or it can be a struggle. But this is the time to bring that into balance. Practice meditation, breath work, whatever keeps your routine more in balance so that you have that Piscean authentic energy in your daily routine, because you really need that for sure. You can, whatever small decisions, whatever little choices on a daily basis help you stay in balance. That's definitely your focus here. Okay. Your health, um, how you are of service to yourself and others, those are going to come up. It's a good time to start, planting the seeds of intention for what you want in the future. We are being redirected. It may not come up right away, but this is definitely something that's kind of, you really are planting the seed, and you're going to watch that growth with over the next few months. Eclipses really start to show themselves, that energy, after a few months of all of that kind of combustion, right? It takes a little bit of time to redirect. So the universe is working in the background. Just stay positive, and in the meantime, work your magic and try to implement something more healthy for yourself to keep you in balance on a daily basis. That's definitely going to help. And then the lunar eclipse will be in your first house. It is in Pisces. So that's going to be a total identity reset, right? So more confidence. It's going to say you need to be more confident and you need to show up as yourself. You need to be who you are. The eclipse can mark like the closing of one version of yourself and really push you towards the next chapter of who you are or who you are becoming. Don't be afraid. You may outgrow kind of what you've been used to for a long time, or you may already feel that you have. And this may come up and say, now's the time to really be present in who you are today. Because chances are, and oftentimes, most people feel the eclipse energy well before the eclipse. And so it's possible that you've already been kind of feeling like you're outgrowing your old identity. Maybe there's a new way that you need to show up for yourself, and allow yourself and your soul to really just make room for who you are becoming. Okay. It's definitely good. It's a great month to be authentic. We've got Leo energy. We have a lot of beautiful placements going on. Create some healthy habits within yourself. There could be maybe a new career rhythm for you, or some other things being implemented in your work. But definitely gain greater confidence, and for sure, be authentic. So let's kind of recap the message that the eclipses are really trying to send this month, with the awareness of that nodal shift, right? So we definitely have the whole month to really release old patterns and identities, release old beliefs, and be ready to accept what comes next. Okay. It's all about new beginnings and redirections. Leo is asking us to be who we are and lead with our hearts. Pisces is asking us to surrender, really, and to let go and let things be dissolved. Okay. And, we're just really being asked to kind of remember who we are in our truest form. No more hidden agenda, no more ego identity that is there to please other people. Forget about judgments. They don't have to be real for you. You do not have to internalize them. Just be who you are. Lovingly let yourself lead with your heart. Allow the release to happen and just be prepared for the next chapter because it's going to be beautiful as long as you allow it to be. Accept the beauty and it will be yours. And just remember that, we're all together here, right? We all understand that doing things differently is scary. But when you are being authentic and it is scary, don't choose fear. Just choose to be brave and to be bold and to do it anyway, because you're only afraid of it until it works, and it's fine, and it's always fine. The more you are who you really really are, the more aligned you are, and the more things come your way that are meant for you, right? So just choose faith and don't let fear in. That's a really really huge piece of advice for this month. Okay, let's talk about the stargazing opportunities. We're just going to start right off the bat with August 12th. It's really, really cool. I already discussed a little bit. I did tell you about the Saturn, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune alignment. It's going to be going diagonal through the sky. That is happening on the 12th, as well as the solar eclipse. Um, you let's see, unless you're in probably Iceland, Greenland, parts of Europe, and very small parts of the northeast section of North America. It may not be very visible, but the energy is definitely there. And let me tell you, it's going to cause a very dark night sky, which makes those planets visible, and it's beautiful. But we also have to boot on the same day a meteor shower. It's going to last till, the 12th and the 13th will be its peak. So you definitely have some good reasons to stay up late and get some sky time in. Really just reminds us of how small we are and how big everything is and how we're so connected to it. Okay. So if you have the opportunity, if you can stay up late enough, go visit all of our planets. They're so beautiful and they're just there to really kind of push us into alignment. The solar eclipse will be, I'm sorry, the lunar eclipse will be on August 28th, 27th, 28th, depending on where you live. And that's it will be a partial. So it's about 96% of the surface will be covered, and it's going to have kind of a reddish hue. This will be visible throughout North America. So it's definitely something that you're going to want to set a calendar reminder for and go check out. And those of us who take telescopes out and say hi to our planetary friends, we do have Saturn back. If you are in the northern hemisphere, Saturn has been under the horizon for us at night for a long time, but lately Saturn's been back in view. So we have Mars and Saturn in view primarily the whole month, as well as Venus, which again is the brightest planet. So it looks like a disco ball in the sky. So definitely take some time to step outside this month, look up, feel the connection, and really, really focus on that love, that joy, and just be ready for life changing things to happen. And before I give you the sign of the day, I definitely want you to understand that this whole month is really pushing us to be authentic. And I know I've said that a lot. I'm kind of like a broken record on it, but truly, truly be who you are. Do not apologize for it in any way, and you will be rewarded, even if it seems messy, even if it seems to take a while. Allow those things to crumble and really be true to yourself. And for that, the sign of the day today will be brave. Also courage, right? So you're going to go like you're grabbing muscles and just grab onto them. Brave, brave. All right, you guys, you've got this. This is going to be a great month. Reach out if you have any questions or need to chat or help navigate the situation. Heavy energy, definitely reach out if you need to. I'm always here for you, and I really hope you enjoy this beautiful month.